Everyone. Good afternoon, and hope that you have already had your lunch. Today marks the first session for July. Yeah, so welcome, and hopefully that you have found a comfortable spot to sit and relax while we continue our. Well, I would say this should be our third month of our Facebook Live. Yeah. So what is happening this month? A lot of very interesting and exciting information are going to be churned out during the workshop. Yeah, because this month is actually plastic-free month. Okay, so July has been recognized as the plastic-free month worldwide. All right, so that is why it is a very important, or I would say a very interesting month for us, because at this point of time we are doing a lot of sustainable craft, yeah, or green craft that promote plastic free, as well as to promote repurposing instead of recycling. All right, so today itself, 3rd of July, is International Plastic Bag Free Month. So what a good day to actually kickstart our plastic free month, right? So what is Plastic Bag Free Day? It is a global initiative that aims to eliminate the use of single-use plastic bags in the world. Now, do you know that plastic bags are one of the most used, yeah, single-use plastic in the world. Imagine that, yeah. The world itself, yeah, worldwide, we use 5 trillion plastic bags a year. Do you know how many zeros are in a trillion? It is 12 zero. Imagine that. That is in 1 year. Okay, we are not talking about 10 years or 5 years. It's 1 year. 5 trillion plastic bags. Yeah, and if let's say we break it down to a day or even a second, it is 160,000 plastic bags per second. That is per second. Yeah, imagine that 1 hour of our time is 3,600 seconds. Yeah, we usually will take 1 hour for the Facebook Live, and 3,600 seconds, and how many plastic bags are being used. Okay, so that is the reason why we need to cut down, or in fact we need to refuse plastic bags. Okay, now the reason also because these plastic bags, first and foremost, it is mainly single use. All right, so we may have like 12 minutes of usage for the plastic bags. When we go shopping, come back, and then we unwrap everything, and then after that we are going to throw it away. All right, so that is why it is very important that we try to eliminate usage. Okay, so in the research, it also been mentioned that for plastic bags itself, right, it's only 1%. Yeah, it's only 1% are being properly recycled. Yeah, what does that tell you? Out of the 160,000 plastic bags we use per second, it's only 1% that is being recycled. Yeah, so that is the reason why it is one of the key highlights for all plastic free initiative to stop using plastic bag. That is the reason why also we are trying to educate everyone from young, especially because we are slightly too old sometimes, yeah, to absorb new information. But for kids, they are like sponges, yeah, so they can absorb information. And if let's say we instill the habit, or what you call it, if let's say we guide them properly, yeah, from young, they will be able to pick up the habit of living a better life compared to us. Yeah, okay, so what is single-use plastic? So this is the topic that we are going to talk about today. Okay, single-use plastic are disposable plastics, which means they are used only once. Then after that, you will have to throw it away or send it for recycling. Okay, so in the research, it also mentioned that single-use packaging are the most significant market for plastics. Yeah, comprising of 42% of all plastics being produced. Okay, these are the numbers before even the pandemic. Yeah, So imagine since the pandemic started last year until now, I cannot tell you how much more percent has it been increased. Okay, now yearly we produce about 400 million tons of plastic worldwide. Yeah, 400 million tons of plastic. This goes to not just covering the straws or plastic containers or plastic cups, everything plastic. Okay, however, now in terms of the proper recycling, it only takes about 10 to 13%. That is 10 to 13%. Yeah, which means where does the rest go? It will go into landfill. It will go into the ocean. All right. If it is not being properly managed. Okay. So that is the reason why we need to make sure that we take proper steps from today onwards. Okay. For some of you who may not know, my name is Joey. Welcome to this first session for the month of July. Please stay tuned with us for the rest of the month because we are going to also guide you how to do a proper 5R principle, okay? How to adopt the proper 5R principle, okay? So today we are going to do a little bit of a very simple activity, all right? Using plastic bag, all right? In order for us to remind ourselves that today is International Plastic Bag Free Day, right? So we are going to make a bookmark. Remember, I always tell you all that whatever things that we or whatever artworks or whatever masterpiece that we create, it has to serve a purpose, all right? So that is the reason why every time when we do an activity or a craft-related workshop, we always make sure that it serves a purpose or it has some functional it is functional for everybody to use it. So that is why we are going to do bookmarks. All right, today we are going to use plastic bags to make our bookmarks. All right. For those of you who pre-registered with us, you have received our material list. Some of you have mentioned, oh, I don't have any plastic bags with me. Well, fret not. Today we are going to share with you also what can you use instead of plastic bag. Now, I always mention to you since day one, yeah, when it comes to materials, it is not just, it has to be that particular material. We have to, when we do not have a certain material, it is important that we need to find alternatives. Yeah, that is where our creativity kicks in. A lot of you who have submitted your artwork or your masterpiece after every sessions, we see that you have been doing very well because it doesn't only use those materials that I have mentioned. You have also been very creative to find alternatives. So good job to all of you. So again, today we are going to do the same. So let's go through the material list that I've sent you. Okay, so of course the main product or the main material will be plastic bags. Okay, now if let's say you do not have plastic bags, don't worry. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of these at home. Okay, what are these? These are from your online purchases. I've cut it actually. Okay, so these are from your online purchases. It comes in a courier bag. All right, you can use this. So courier bag, you can use. And then, of course, plastic bags. Now, the plastic bags, I would not recommend you to use the good ones. Yeah, because if it is good ones, you can still reuse, all right? Now, we are talking about those plastic bags that may have holes and you cannot reuse it for any other purpose. So clean those, dry it, and then you can repurpose it, all right? Now, the next alternative is non-woven bags. I'm pretty sure you all will have a lot of this at home as well. Because as we try to do away with plastic bag, we will tend to get a lot of non-woven bags or eco bags, all right? So those bags, if it is not from a very good material, it breaks very easily. So the handle will come out, there will be holes after a few times of usage. Don't throw it away yet, or don't send it for recycling yet, okay? Clean those, dry it, and you can repurpose it, okay? So these are few items that or few alternatives that you can use, right? Now next, we talk about paper clips. Okay, so I am also pretty sure, I'm very confident that everybody will have this a lot, though may not be the big ones, but you will have a lot of this at home. Why? I have no idea. Even at my house, we have found like boxes of paper clips unused, sitting in one corner. All right, so you can start to use those. Okay, now if you do not have it, no worries. You can use popsicle sticks if you have. Okay, so popsicle sticks you can do with those colorful ones, or you can do with the plain ones, and then after that you can decorate it yourself. Okay, so popsicle sticks. Now if let's say you do not have popsicle sticks, no worries, we are going to also use cardboard. Now this type of cardboard is the thin type, not the thick type. Okay, so what we call it as cereal box. Okay, cereal box, tissue box, face mask box. We can also use this as alternatives. Okay, so these are the two main materials. The rest will be like probably color marker, or what we call it as magic pen. And then of course our best companions, yeah, scissors, cutters, glue, either hot glue or Yoo-hoo glue, it's fine. If let's say you want to do a little bit of painting, you can use paint. Okay, or if let's say you do not want to paint, you want to leave it as it is, it's fine. Optionally, you can also decorate it with stickers or blinks if you want. Okay, so those are the items that we will need. Now there are many ways to do a flower, so it also depends on what, yeah, so it also depends on what materials, yeah, because some materials are very soft, some materials are harder, like courier bags for example. Those are harder material, so it may not be as flexible, but you can use it to make different flowers. Okay, plastic bags for example, it is very soft, so it is easier for you to make to make into like pom-pom type of flowers for example. And non-woven bag, you can use it for like sunflower, something that needs it to be big. Okay, so today what we are going to do is we are going to use plastic bags. Okay, one of the alternatives. If let's say we have time after this, then we will use the non-woven bag. All right, if let's say you have courier bag, you can use the same flower pattern that we use for non-woven bag. Alternatively, if let's say you want to find out more flower options, you can actually Google it, yeah, and then I'm pretty sure online you can find a lot of templates as well. But do bear in mind that whatever flowers that you want to make it small, not too big, because it is a bookmark after all. Of course, if let's say you want to use it as decoration, yeah, you can make it big. So when you make it big, make sure in terms of the materials that you use, it is suitable. Otherwise, then it will not look as good, or it will not look as 3D as you want it to be. All right. So first off, let's do the plastic bag. Let me just clean up a little bit. Okay. So plastic bag, we need just a little bit. Okay, because we are making a small flower. It's probably about 5 cm in total size. Okay, so 5 cm is about, let's see, yeah, it's about this size. Okay, so it's about this size, 5 cm. So we cut off a little bit. So one piece of, if let's say you have a big piece of plastic bag, you can actually make a lot of flowers. So this is also a good idea. Okay, not just for own use, you can also make it and then start to give it away, yeah, as a gift. We always encourage kids, or in fact for adults as well, handmade your product, handmade your gifts, yeah, because it is more unique. Okay, because it is done with tender loving care, right? So that is why we always encourage even kids to also make your own gift to give it away. A lot of time we will think that, oh, well, it's too troublesome. Well, it is because we do not have that habit. Once you already have that habit, right? You will not think that it is too troublesome to make it. In fact, you will be more willing to even put in the effort to make it. Why? Because it is something unique and you cannot find anywhere. Yeah. So it is a good time for all of us to actually pick up that hobby and start to make our own gift to give away. Okay. So like I mentioned, we only need a little bit of plastic bag. What we need to do is we need to cut it off. Make sure it is clean, yeah, because if it is not clean, then it may cause uninvited guests like ants and flies, you know. So what we do is we cut into small pieces. So this is how usually I cut to save time. So once we fold it once, okay. After you cut it, okay, so we fold it half, and then we cut. So you don't have to cut one by one. So what we do is we will just cut randomly. But if you want to know the size, the best size to have is 5 cm by 5 cm. Okay, but I am not going to tell you to cut and measure 5 cm by 5 cm. Okay, don't measure one by one. Okay, it is going to take a lot of time. All right, so what you do, you fold half, you cut it, and then you fold another half. Make sure you align it nicely, and then fold it half again. Okay, so align it to make sure that it is all same size. Okay, and then after that you cut it again. Now, of course, plastic bag is very soft, so it is very difficult to cut, but make sure as you go smaller, then it's easier to manage. Okay, so half again, and then cut. Okay, and then after that, half again. So you just go along, half and half and half and half, until you get to the size that you want. Okay, and we need it 5 cm, right? So we cut another half. Okay, so we have 5 cm roughly, not exactly but roughly. Okay, so now here, if you do this, you will have a lot of tiny pieces like this. Let me just take one out to show. Okay, so you have a lot of tiny pieces like this. Okay, now we will need probably about, depending on how big or how full your flower that you want, it can be ranging from 10 pieces to 16 pieces. So that will be a good indication. 10 pieces to 16 pieces, okay? So how we count? So we hold it and then we count 1, 2. Try not to mess it up so that it's easier for you to handle when you want to tie it later, okay? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I am going to give it probably about 14, 15, and 16. Okay. So we will put it aside. Now, if let's say you want to do colorful, you can also. What you do is probably the first few layers you put different color, and then after that you put a second color, and then the third layer will be another color. Okay, so you can divide it into probably 5 pieces per color to make it more colorful. Okay, so I'll just take and exchange some that is not the same size, and make sure that the rest are same size. Now from here we are going to do accordion fold. If you remember how to do accordion fold, it is fold in, fold out, fold in, fold out, fold in, fold out. Okay, so if you cannot fold in, fold out, so you just have to just pinch it and then just hold it like this, okay? And then we tie it, okay? We need to tie, we take a string or yarn and then tie in the middle, okay? So let's cut, okay? So like I mentioned, it is accordion fold. So I am going to show you with paper how accordion fold is going, how do we do the accordion fold, okay? So just give me 1 minute so that I tie this in place first, otherwise then it will go haywire afterwards. Okay, all right, so I'm done with this. Okay, so accordion fold, what you do is you take a bit, you fold it, okay, inwards, and then after that you fold it outwards, okay? So you just continue inwards, outwards, okay? So if let's say you open it, then you will see this. You will see this. Okay, so this is what we call as accordion fold. I'm pretty sure you know, you have done it before, just that we don't know what is it called, okay? Because if let's say we want to make fan, paper fan, for example, so this is the fold method that we use as well, okay? So accordion fold. So remember the name or the keywords, because why is it called accordion fold? Because when you open it up, it looks like accordion, okay? It looks like an accordion, okay? So fan, if let's say we make paper fan, this is how it looks like, okay? All right, so we have done. And then after that, if let's say you are done with the accordion fold, what you need to do is take a piece of yarn or string if you have, okay, and then tie in the middle. Okay, tie in the middle like this. Okay, then you can either trim both edges to be round or pointy, it's up to you. If you want to leave it as is, it's okay too. So we are just going to quickly cut off the excess because it is uneven. So we cut it off, make sure that it doesn't fly all over the place. Okay, so let's just cut it off. Okay, so we trim it so that both sides looks roughly the same. Okay, so this side and this side looks roughly the same. Next, we have to pull out one by one. Okay, so it's just like we are using it, it's just like we make tissue paper flowers, yeah, or also we will do the same. Okay, so we start to pull piece by piece, put it outwards, but do not put it all the way out, yeah, so put it outwards. Okay, so both sides, so we do one side first, okay, and then after that we will do the other side. The bottom, as you go along, the lower part will be more difficult to pull, but it's fine, just do it slowly as long as you don't break it. If you need to trim along the way, please do so. Okay, so one side is done, so we go to the other side. Now let's go back to the topic of single-use plastic. Some fun facts, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that it's fun fact because there's nothing fun about it, but it's a fact, yeah. Malaysia, at this point of time, we are ranked as the 8th of the top 10 countries with mismanaged plastic waste in the world. What does that tell you? It means that we are not very good in terms of plastic waste management. Yeah, that is the reason why we need to even put in more effort, yeah, to ensure that we try to avoid plastic at all costs. Okay, so as much as our government has put in a vision to achieve zero single-use plastic by 2030, which is another 9 more years. However, I think that it will not happen if every one of us will still take it for granted, okay? So you can't just depend on certain individuals to do it. It has to be a concerted effort from everyone, okay? That is the reason why we need to start to learn about single-use plastic and why is it bad for us, and what can we actually replace it with, okay? So now our flower is done. So simple as that. The next step, of course, this is what we call, this flower is what we call as sort of like a carnation flower, okay? So next step is, of course, we cut off the excess string or yarn, and then after that we put it one side. Now this is where we are going to take either a popsicle sticks, your paper clips. If let's say you do not have it, never mind. This is what we are going to do. We are going to use cut cereal box, okay? So what we do, probably we will cut like a small piece out, and then we keep the rest, okay? So depending on the size or the shape that you want, okay? I will do oval shape. I wouldn't say oval, long, oblong, okay, shape. So what we do is we cut it a bit, make it straight. If let's say you need to use a ruler to measure it, it's fine. Now you don't have to really measure exactly how long it should be. It's up to your preference, okay? Main thing is you just make sure that it is the same size, top and bottom, okay? So if let's say here is 2 cm, then bottom also 2 cm, so that it is easier to see, okay? And then fold it down in half, okay? So if you open it up, it will be like this, okay? Fold it half. Now here, you can paint it or you can decorate it at the bottom, okay? You can do anything you want. We are going to stick our flower on top, just the top part, okay? So I want to cut a bit of a round shape at the end, at the edge there. So let's just say we cut it, make it round. Okay, the other side also cut it round. All right, so round shape, okay? So when you open it up, it will look like this. It's oblong. You can paint it. You can even draw your own design using marker pens, okay? Or you can leave it blank if you want. Then after that, you can start to stick your flower on top, okay? Let's see, the glue gun is not on, so we are going to use Yoo-hoo glue. Now, be careful if let's say you are using hot glue gun, because it is plastic after all, so it will melt it very fast. So I would not recommend you to put the hot glue onto the plastic itself, okay? Try to put it onto the cardboard or the paper clips, or in fact even the popsicle stick, okay? And then after that, we will just stick it on. Okay. If you use Yoo-hoo glue, it will take slightly longer, so you need to hold it. And there you go. One paper clip is done. If you are reading a book, this is how it goes, okay? How cute is this? You will know where it stops, right? So you will know where it stops. So this is one of the options that we are going to do today. So you can make a lot since you have cut a big piece of plastic bags. So make a lot and then share it with your friends or your family. Okay, encourage kids especially to read books. Nowadays, kids, they don't really read books that much. Yeah, my kids are the same. So in order for us to encourage them to read books, we have to entice them sometimes. So we buy their favorite books, we do a little bit of decoration on their books to make sure that they actually will open up the books and try to read it. Yeah. So this is one of it, okay? So let's clean up a little bit. And then if let's say you use popsicle sticks, so it's the same. So what you do is you just put it in the middle like this. I'm not sure whether you can see, okay? Because I used black color. This is actually from the black color Korea bag, okay? So that is why it's dark. I'm wearing dark color shirt as well. So black color, and this is actually a rose, a spiral rose, okay? So if let's say you want to do a spiral rose using the Korea bag, nowadays Korea bags come with different colors, yeah. The other day I received one that is pink in color, and then we have some purple in colors one. So try to keep all those. When you cut it off, try to be very careful so that you can keep one side and then clean it, dry it, and then after that you can use it to make flowers, okay? So for spiral rose, what you do is you can draw circles like this, okay? One big circle, and then after that you cut off the circle, okay? Let's just quickly cut this circle off. Okay, you can use anything to trace the circle. If let's say you use a dark color Korea bag, I would suggest you to use a white marker or any neon color marker to trace it, yeah, so that you can see the line. Okay. Okay. Of course, if let's say you can cut it freehand, it will also be good. It need not be neat, yeah. So one circle, once you have done with the circle, you can actually, if let's say you want it to be a little bit more colorful, what you can do is you can actually use the neon color marker or liquid chalk, yeah. And then try to draw lines around the edge, yeah. Try to draw lines so that when you fold it later on, then it will look like the flower is black, but then you have the outline of it of a different color, okay? So next thing is we have to cut in spiral. How do we cut in spiral? Let's see whether you can see. Okay, this way is easier. So what we do is we cut it and then we continue to turn, okay? Not too big of a gap, okay? So we just cut it. So this is the easiest rows that you can actually do, okay? Don't cut it too big gap, yeah? In terms of the gap here, okay, it's probably maximum 1 cm or 1.5 cm. That will be the best, okay? So try to go as small as possible, okay? Otherwise, then your flower will be very tall. Okay, so we just continue on until the end. Okay, just continue to cut. See, it's a spiral. You cut in spiral. You just keep going on and on in spiral shape. Then when you cut it, then it will become a long strip. Okay, we cut it until the end. Okay, and then after that, at the end there, leave it a little bit of gap, okay, so that we can stick the flower onto it, okay. Don't cut all the way. So we leave something like this, okay, leave something like this. And then after that, we find where is the beginning part, okay. And then if you need to use a stick to help you, you can. Otherwise, then you can just use your hand to roll it. Sometimes it may be difficult to roll at first, so what you do is you use a stick to help you, and then after that you just have to, you can just use your finger to roll it. When you roll it, be very careful because this is also very soft, okay. So you just have to be very careful and hold on. So you continue to roll all the way until the end, okay. You can do it very quickly. So make sure it doesn't come out from, just make sure that here all are within the same alignment, okay, so that it doesn't come out. So when you stick on it, then it will not be all over the place, okay. So this is how we roll it. Okay, so we continue to roll. Okay. Okay, so we are almost done with the second flower. So we continue all the way until the end. Let's just adjust this side because it's all tangled up. Okay. Now while we do this rolling, let's get a little bit of info on some of the plastic that we use. How long does it take to decompose? Okay, do you know? Okay, most of the plastic or single-use plastic, in fact, they outlive us. In fact, our generations to come. Why? Let me tell you, okay? Plastic bags, for example, it takes 20 to 500 years to decompose. Imagine that. How many of us can live up to 500 years? Yeah. So 20 to 500 years. What about those plastic bottles? Like those Coke, the soda bottles, yeah, beverage cups. It takes 450 years. 450 years. Okay. And how about those plastic cutleries like fork and spoon, those disposable ones? 100 years to 1,000 years. Plastic straw, for example, 200 years. Those take-out containers, when you go tapao food, especially during this pandemic, we use a lot of it because when we order takeout or when we order delivery, they will come in those plastic containers. It takes 50 to 80 years. Still, it's a very, very long time. Yeah, it's 50 to 80 years. So that is the reason why we need to cut all this down, because we want to make the world a better place for ourselves to live in, for our generations to come. Yeah, because we do not want them to live in a place where it is so hazardous as well as so contaminated, right? So now, once you're done with the rolling, it should look like this, okay? Very small. What you need to do is, you need to slightly unroll it, make it bigger. Okay, but make sure you hold it and don't let go, okay? Don't let go. So you just hold it on and then you just unroll from the middle, okay? Unroll it from the middle so that it will turn bigger. So once you're done with unrolling one part, hold on to it, and then you continue to unroll the other part. Okay. Okay. So one is done, and you think that the size is okay. What you need to do is hold on to from the top. Okay. Hold on all the way, and then let go the bottom part where the last piece is, and then we will put glue here. The whole thing we are going to put it on so that it will stick on it. Okay, so let's just put some glue first. This my hot glue gun is done. So again, please be very careful when you put glue onto plastic because it will melt very fast. So you just have to be very, very careful, okay? All right. So once, if let's say you stick it all the way, yeah, in the middle, everything will stay in, okay? It will not come apart. Okay. So this is how it goes. Your rose is done. Okay, this is black color. If let's say you have white color, you have any other colors, you can also make it different colors. So this is the height. Okay, so this is the height. If let's say you cut it like within 1 cm in terms of the length, the width, then it should look like this. Not too high, not too low. Okay, and then if let's say you have green color, well, I happen to cut out one small little piece from the CityLink courier bag because they have the green color part. Yeah? So then we can cut off and then we can use it as leaf. So we don't have to make it too big. So we can cut probably 4 leaves out from this tiny piece. I just fold it half, and then cut, and then fold it half again so that I can get 4 leaves at one time. Okay, so we just cut the leaf shape out. Okay, very quickly cut the leaf out. Okay, and then there you go, 4 leaves are done. Okay, then next you just have to stick it on. So depending on how many leaves you want to stick on. So again, be very careful if let's say you're using hot glue, because you are using plastic. So we just stick it on the other side as well. Okay, so it is done. I will just show you. So if let's say you have other colors, imagine how it would look. It would look very nice and bright. Yeah. So if let's say you have like those yellow color ones, pink color ones, I mean at this point of time it is unavoidable. Yeah. Online shopping is unavoidable. And most of the time when you order from suppliers, when the seller sends the good, usually they will have to pack it in plastic bags or courier bag. Why? Because to protect the items inside. Very rarely people will use paper carton box. Why? Because it is higher cost. Yeah. So, but that is unavoidable. Like we always mention, if you cannot avoid it, either we reduce it or we reuse it or repurpose it. Okay, before we even throw it away. Yeah, because many of us it's very convenient. When the parcel arrive, we unbox it or unwrap it, like how we open up our gift, our Christmas presents. Then after that, conveniently, we will throw away the bag. Yeah, a lot of us are doing it. In fact, sometimes I myself, I will also be doing it. But we have to constantly remind ourselves that don't throw it away yet. You can use it, you can reuse it, or recycle it, or repurpose it. In fact, as a matter of fact, okay. So this one again, you can stick it on to popsicle sticks, or you can use other methods like the cardboard the cereal box method. Okay, so you just can stick it on, replace the flower. You can make different flower. So this is by using courier bag. Okay, the next one, we can use a non-woven bag. Now, what non-woven bag sometimes is a little bit more challenging because it has printing on it. Okay, so what we can do is we can use the inner part of the non-woven bag. Okay, so it will look better. Non-woven bag, some of it is very soft. So the soft one you can use to make different smaller flower. But if it is a thicker type, then you can use to make a bigger flower. Okay, so let's go through. What we need to do is, again, we need to cut a certain part of it off. You not need to cut a big one. Now, this non-woven bag type, because it is hard, so it is more suitable to be made into those flowers that are either very flat, yeah, like sunflower, that type. Okay, because it has a lot of spikes. Yeah, so that one will be good. It also, you can also use it to make rose, but not so recommend to you to make into carnation or those pom-pom type of flower, because it's not soft enough. Okay, so cut off the excess. So we will just need this. So what we need to do is we will cut. We will make square. Okay, so we try to get to the place where we have more plain color instead of the printings. Yeah, because if let's say you get those, or you in fact if you buy, then there will be a lot of printings on it. Yeah. Okay, so what we need to do is we just fold it. Okay, we fold it few rounds. Okay, make it triangle, or in fact, if let's say you want, you can make it in squares. Okay, so you fold half and half and half and half. So, but if let's say you fold it half, but end, you still need to fold triangle, because why? We need to cut the shape. If you are not comfortable cutting it like this, you can actually draw it. Okay, so how we draw? We draw round shape, or in fact, we can draw spiky. Yeah, so we are going to do this. Okay, we fold into triangle first. So half triangle, and then another half triangle, and then another half triangle. Try to fold it as small as possible, and then until you cannot fold it, then you cut. Now this one is suitable if let's say you want to make a bigger flower. Okay, because the material itself is thick, and then when you open it up, it will have the petal, and then after that you can just trim off. Okay, if let's say it doesn't look so nice, then you can trim it off. Okay, so after this, you can make a few of it, different sizes, or if let's say you want to make it same size, also can. Then after that, you can continue to make the inner part. For example, I make this a little bit big so that it's easier for you to see, but if let's say you want, you can make it small. 5 cm would be good if let's say you want to make into a bookmark. Okay, then the inner part we can make something like, what do you call that? Where is my sample? No, something like well, I can't remember what is the word. So we need to cut tiny strips. Okay, you need to cut tiny strips, but don't cut all the way. Leave it some space. Okay, so we just cut tiny strips all the way. Okay, so we just quickly cut it off, all the tiny strips, but make sure that you don't cut all the way. Yeah, so cut it to half, it will be good. Okay, so we continue to cut this very quickly. Almost done. This part is it will take a little bit of time if let's say you want to cut it in one go, in one straight line. Alternatively, you can actually fold it a few rounds to cut it, but because this material is a little bit too thick, so I would suggest you to cut it like this. Okay, so once you cut it, it will be like this. Okay, all these tiny strips, and then after that you can roll it. Okay, so we can roll it until the end, then we put glue to stick it. Now, non-woven bags is actually made from plastic as well, but it is actually made from recycled plastics. Yeah, so that is the reason why, as much as we say that, you know, try to find alternatives not to use plastic, sometimes it's unavoidable, because in the market itself, non-woven bags for shopping, yeah, is a very common use for grocery shoppings and whatever shoppings that you are we used to do. Okay, so if you can, try to also avoid using non-woven bags. Instead, buy those cotton bag, or those canvas bag. It will be better, or jute. Okay, so nowadays it has a lot more options if you can avoid using non-woven bag. Okay, so I will just need to trim off this. Okay, so what we do is I need to cut it off because it's a little bit too big. Let me just fold it back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, found it. cut it smaller. Okay, so while we are doing this, we are also going to tell you why it is hazardous. Yeah, plastic. Why is plastic hazardous for us? Okay, it is actually a chain reaction. Okay, because everything that happens, it will come back. Like what we always say. Okay, everything goes around, comes around. Okay, um, it is not just hazardous to the environment, it's also hazardous to us. Yeah, so how? Now, as we know, due to the poor waste management, right, it will cause pollution. It will cause pollution not just to the air that we breathe in, to the water that we drink, as well as to the land, because we have to create more and more landfill for this waste management system, right? So that is why that is one of the main concern when it comes to pollution. Not just that, when it the production, the pollution actually starts when we produce plastic. Yeah, because why? It emits the carbon dioxide. Yeah, so what that means? It means that whenever we produce the plastic products, right? So it will actually emit carbon dioxide, which is not good for us. Yeah, we need oxygen instead of CO2, right? So this in return will cause high carbon footprint. All right. So with that pollution as well as high carbon footprint, what will happen? It causes global warming, right? So that is a known fact. More and more places are getting hotter. Weather is getting hotter. Yeah, ice are being melted. Yeah, so that is why all these are interrelated. Okay. Now, imagine if, let's say, all these products, plastic products, are being littered, yeah, or being thrown away into landfill, or if it does not go to the recycling center properly, it ends up in the ocean, which we see every day in the news. Yeah. So what happened? It threatens the wildlife animals as well as those sea creatures. Yeah, marine life, marine animals. Okay. So what happened if, let's say, they ingest it, or if, let's say, they come across all these plastic products like straws and all that? It will cause choking. It will cause ingestion, or also it will cause entanglement. So that is why we always see that, a lot of sea animals, they have plastic straws stuck in through their nostril, or plastic bags stuck. Their head are stuck in plastic bags and all that. All right. So that is the reason why, the reason why we need to get rid of all this single-use plastic. Okay. Now, imagine if, let's say, those marine life, right, ingested these plastic materials. Now, bear in mind, when we talk about decompose, right, it doesn't mean that after these years, like for example, plastic bag, it takes how many years? We were saying the shortest period is 20 years. Okay, let's just say after 20 years, it does not just go away and disappear completely. It doesn't. Yeah, it will turn into microplastics. It's like tiny pieces of plastics. It could be as small as your glitter. What does it mean? It means that, imagine if, let's say, all this marine life were to eat all those, thinking that it is food, and then we eat all those marine life like fish, shellfish, for example. It will cause food chain contamination. More so if, let's say, you tapao food, for example, okay, and the chemical content from the plastic, sometimes when we tapao food, is hot, right? So it will cause all these toxic chemicals to actually come out, okay, from all this plastic, and then we ingest it. What will happen? Yeah. In a survey conducted by Disease Control and Prevention in the US, they actually concluded that BPA is widely used in plastic production. Yeah, they actually concluded that BPA was found in 93% of urine samples taken from people around the age of 6 years old, kids. Yeah, so they have different age groups, but they have also noticed that 93% of us, yeah, when they did the urine sample, all of us has a certain plastics in our urine sample. How bad is that? Imagine we have to eat, imagine if let's say we ingest this every single day. No wonder our life cycle is getting shorter and shorter. Okay, so that is the reason why we really need to know what is the 5R principle. Okay, so let's go back to our flower. So the flower, if let's say you open it up, you can make a few layers of this. Okay, and then after that you just stack it on, stack. And then if let's say you want, you can just fold it a little bit, make it curve. Okay, make it curve. Usually for this type of flowers, we will use probably about 4 to 5 layers. So you can just repeat this 4 to 5 times. You can make it slightly smaller for the inner one and then the bigger one for the outside. Now in terms of the templates, I am not going to go through, so you can actually download it from internet. All right. So, and then after that, you just have to assemble everything together. So this being in the middle, okay, just stick in the middle, and then after that, you can stick all the other layers on top. And then after that, your flower is done. Okay, simple as it is, right? So, no waste. Okay, we will try to repurpose all this plastic if we can, before we even send for recycling. Now, last time, during the olden days, we always say that, oh, practice 3R, 3R. You know what is our 3R? Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's all. But we have seen that it is not as effective, or it does not achieve the result fast enough. So that is why now we come up with the 5R principle, which is refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose. The last step itself, only it will be recycled. So we need to take the first 4 actions in order for us to actually make sure that we do not really like waste all these plastics if we have no choice. Yeah. So today's session, we will talk a little bit more about how to refuse and find alternatives. Yeah. So we are going to talk about probably about 10 minutes to talk about alternatives. Yeah, so we know, we always say that, oh, okay, we don't use plastic, we don't use straw, but what can we use? Yeah, some products or some materials may be good, some may not be good, some are more recommended, some are not. There are a lot of products out there. Of course, when it comes to, like, for example, plastic straws. Yeah, last time when we say that, oh, we ban plastic straws, right? Everywhere you go, they don't give you plastic straws. Then we start complaining, no straw, how to drink? Then there's now, again, they are giving away more straws. But some straws are made from paper, and then we complain, oh, this is like so soft. You put inside the drink, after a while, then it will become soft already, you know, the straw. So let's go through some of the alternatives, okay? So for plastic straws, of course, we can use paper straw, which are the more commonly found. And then we have bamboo straws, which are better alternatives. And then, of course, since the ban of plastic straw usage, a lot of companies actually came up with stainless steel straws, okay, or metal straw. For those of you who have young kids, or in fact you have kids at home, I would not recommend you to use metal straw because it could be hazardous if it is mismanaged, okay? So the next best option is to go for silicone straws, which in most recent years, since last year, I think, we have seen more and more silicone straws being produced. Okay, so silicone straw is one of the best option if you really need to use straw. Alternatively, just go without straws. We drink from cups every day anyway. All right, so that is for straw. Now for plastic bags. So like I mentioned, we do away with plastic bags. What can we replace it with? Cotton bags, jute bags, canvas bag. Try to do away with non-woven bag if possible, because after all, it is still plastic, as much as it is from recycled plastic. But again, like I mentioned, whatever plastic that is being produced, it will not biodegrade to totally zero. All right, so it will still be microplastics after it decomposes. Okay, so use those like felt, which is also more durable. Okay, and then PET bottles, like those that you soda bottles, or even some of you usually will reuse the soda bottles, yeah. But please bear in mind, even if let's say you want to reuse it, you cannot keep reusing it for long period of time, yeah, because after all it's plastic. So what would be a better option? Eco-friendly plastic bottles, if let's say you're still opt for cheaper alternative, okay, then you can otherwise you can use stainless steel plastic bottles. Main thing is you need to buy those BPA free bottles, which we find it most of the time in the market now. Okay, if let's say you can try to buy those made from wheat fiber or rice husk. Okay, so nowadays they have a lot of options. You can find those made from bamboo, made from wheat fiber, rice husk, corn husk, they will call it, yeah. So that are more environmental friendly, and it is also better because it does not contain plastic, yeah. Okay, cutleries, like your fork and spoon. Of course, we always know that, you know, when we go out and eat, we usually don't bring our own fork and spoon out, right? I mean, for those of us who used to eat out, we will use what the restaurant provides us. Sometimes they will give us plastic fork and spoon because they do not want to go through the hassle of washing it, yeah. So try to avoid it. If can, make it a habit to bring your own set. It is more hygienic as well. Yeah, you don't have to share your own cutlery sets. Yeah. Now, when we talk about cutlery sets, of course, there are a few options: metal ones, wood ones, wheat fiber again, rice husk. They are more popular. Wheat fiber and rice husk are more popular at this point of time. Ziploc bags and containers. What can you replace it with? Paper bags, glass types of containers, if let's say you need to use container. Porcelain, silicone, stainless steel are good options. Plastic cups, we can opt to use paper cups, those ceramic cup, silicone cup, you know. Now sometimes you say that it's so troublesome to bring cups out if let's say you want to go and buy from Starbucks or Coffee Bean sometimes, right? But think of it, if let's say it becomes a habit, then it shouldn't be a problem. All right, so these are some of the options. Of course, when it comes to paper cups, for example, for hot beverages, it is like I mentioned it through the few rounds, yeah, of the workshop since day one. Paper cup itself is not entirely paper cup, and it cannot be treated like papers, okay, because it has a layer of wax inside the paper cup. Why they put wax is because they have to make sure that it when they pour the liquid in, it will not leak out, because you know paper, if let's say it comes contact with water, it will be dissolved, right? So that's the reason why they put a layer of wax, so it cannot be treated or cannot be recycled as paper. In fact, paper cup itself is non-recyclable, unfortunately. So that is the reason why we always say that bring your own cup, bring your own cup, yeah. So how can you bring your own cup? You know, now a lot of places selling those collapsible silicone cup. It's a very compact and very small, so you can actually opt for that, okay. If you really need to buy plastic, for example, right, do take note that there are a few things that to look at in terms of the plastic that you are going to buy. Now, every plastic materials, right, or every plastic product, they have a tiny triangle at the bottom, okay. So there is a tiny triangle with a number at the bottom. If you were to check your soda bottle, for example, you will see a number. Now, I am going to tell you what are the numbers that you should take note of. Okay. Now, plastic that can be reused, you will have the number 2, 4, and 5. So 2, 4, and 5 are reusable. Okay. Plastic with the number 6, avoid it at all costs. If you have 6, when you see your product, when you want to pick it up and put it into your trolley, make sure it is not number 6. Okay, so that one you avoid using it at all costs. Now, plastic that cannot be reused means most of the time it is single-use plastic because it cannot be reused. Okay, so it will have the number 1, 3, and 7. It cannot be reused at all. Okay, so that is some of the information that I would hope to share with you today. So we talk about refusing and alternatives, yeah, to all the plastic products, yeah. So it is more important now than ever to actually live up and try to pick up a plastic-free life. Why? Because since the beginning of the pandemic, we have been using much more plastics. Okay, from our online shopping, from our takeout orders, yeah, from the face mask that we use. Yes, face mask is single-use plastic. Yeah, those disposable ones. So imagine if before the pandemic, we only recycle like 10 to 13% of all the plastics. What more now? I'm pretty sure the number is even lower at this point of time. So what can we do? We try not to tap out food so often. Cook at home. Now that we can't go out anyway, okay, EMCO is happening in the next 2 weeks. So try to cook at home. It is the best time for you to also educate the kids to start learning how to cook. Okay, learning cooking for kids are important because it is part of the survival skill. Yeah, it's life skill. So regardless whether they are boys or they are girls, they need to know how. So you need to teach them. All right. It need not be like, oh, they have to be a chef. No, but at least they will not starve themselves if you are not at home and nobody prepare food for them. You know, some kids, I know because sometimes my kids are also the same. Yeah, they will say, oh, I'm so hungry. Then I will say that go and prepare your own food. They said, yeah, I'm so lazy. Well, too bad. If you don't prepare your own food, you don't get to eat. You go hungry. So the main purpose of us teaching them to cook is so that they can survive. That's all. It's not for them to really like, oh, they have to be a chef or something else, okay? So please make sure you teach your kids how to cook or let them join in during the preparation and cooking. Okay? So, yeah. We took 10 minutes, a little bit longer than the previous weeks, but I hope that all of you have all the information we need, yeah, for the first 5R principle. Again, we talk about refusing. So next week, we are going to talk about reducing, yeah. So what can we do to reduce the plastic use, okay? So please make sure you join us because July, we have 5 weeks, so it's just nice for 5R principle. So first week, refuse. Second week, reduce. Third week, we reuse. And then after that, repurpose as what we have been doing. And then the last week is recycle. All right. So now we will take about probably another 5 minutes of your time to go through the lucky draw. For those of you who do not know how lucky draw works, if let's say you join us for the first time, now, when we send out the visual of our upcoming event, you need to pre-register with us. So once you pre-register with us, you are automatically entitled for the lucky draw session. Okay. On top of that, the reason why we will need your details is also because we can send you the material list in advance before the event. Okay. So let's take our lucky draw box. And today we are going to pick 6 lucky winners. So make sure you are in front of the screen So when I call your name, please make sure you type into the comment section and say that you are here. So for example, if I call Joey, so you need to make sure that you yourself or you ask your parents to type in and say Joey is here. Okay, so we will not take too long time to do it. Okay, so let's draw the first name. Darren Tay. Parents Stephanie, sit. Darren, are you here? Darren Tay. If you are here, please type in and say Darren is here. So that is the first name, Darren Tay. We will draw all 6 names and then after that we will come back. Okay. So second name, Sarah Raihana. Parent Ross Jahan. Okay, Sarah Raihana. Parent Ross Jahan. Okay, Sarah, if you are here, please ask your parents to help you to type in and say that you are here. Okay. Okay, third name, Haziq Firdaus. Parent Nuraisha Chua. Haziq Firdaus. Parent Nuraisha Chua. Okay, so this is the third name. Okay. Tan Si Hui. Parent Mommy Alice Yap. Okay, Tan Si Hui. Mommy Alice Yap. So far, do we have anyone? Darren Tay, Haziq Firdaus. Haziq Firdaus is here. Let's put it one side. Sarah Raihana and Tan Si Hui. Okay. Next. Tan Si Hui is here. Mommy Alice Yap, right? Yeah. Muhammad Amar bin Muhammad Shamsul. Parent Aida Kamilia binti Mukzakil. Okay. Muhammad Amar bin Muhammad Shamsul. Should be Mommy Aida Kamilia. Okay. Mommy Aida Kamilia. So how many names ready? Okay, 5. We pick one more. Esther Leong. Mommy Tenny Tang. Esther Leong, Mommy Tenny Tang. So we have 2 takers, Haziq Firdaus as well as Tan Si Hui. So we go through the rest of the names. Darren Tay, Mommy Stephanie Sit, Sarah Raihana, Parent Ross Jahan, Muhammad Amar bin Muhammad Shamsul, Mommy Aida Kamilia, and Esther Leong, Mommy Tenny Tang. Anyone? Let's check. Esther Leong is here. Congratulations, Esther. How about Darren Tay, Sarah Raihana, and Muhammad Amar? Anyone? No? So we should draw another 3 names then. Okay? Adeline Benico, Mommy Samantha Go. Adeline Benico, Mommy Samantha Go. Adeline, if you are here, please ask your mommy to type in to the comment section and say Adeline is here. Okay. So Darren Tay, don't have. Sarah Raihana, last call, yeah. Muhammad Amar bin Muhammad Samsul. Okay, so these 3, we will forfeit it. So the next name we call is Adeline Benico, Mommy Samantha Go. Okay, let's pick another 3 more. Oh, sorry, another 2 more. Liao Zerlin, Mommy Natalie Lai. Okay, Liao Zerlin, Mommy Natalie Lai. Okay, last name. Agnes Gunn, Daddy Michael Gunn. Okay, so Agnes Gunn, Daddy Michael Gunn, Liao Zerlin, Mommy Natalie Lai, and Adeline Benico, Mommy Samantha Go. Sorry? Zerlin is here. Okay, congratulations, Zerlin. Agnes Gunn, Adeline Benico. So we will not draw another 2. So if these 2 are not here, we are going to snowball it to next week. Okay? So Adeline, Benico, last call. Mommy, Samantha, go. Agnes, gun. Daddy, Michael, gun. So we give it 1 minute. We will come back so that in case there is some lags in terms of internet connection, so at least they are there. So let's talk about the 30 days challenge. Remember last week we mentioned the challenge that we are going to do this month. Agnes Gunn is here. Okay, so 30 days challenge, which we are going to post up the visual later on after the event today. So what we need to do is, of course, we need you to do it together with your kids. Now there are 30 activities in that challenge sheet, yeah. So we need you to do as many or practice as many as possible. Now you can compile it and send us your progress report, okay, on a weekly basis or on a bi-weekly basis, or in fact, if let's say you feel that you want to compile everything in one sheet, you can send it to us. Now, how do you compile the report? For example, inside the challenge sheet, it says that plant your own plant. So you have to show us you plant the plant together with your kids, something like that. Or do proper recycling. Sort out your waste, for example, plastic, paper, aluminium, glass. So you have to show us, snap a picture and show us that you are doing it together. Sort it out according to the proper sorting, okay? Now, of course, we cannot control how you are going to do it, but you can follow all the challenges, 30 challenges there. And then, now, when we talk about 30 challenges, doesn't mean that one day, one challenge, yeah? So if let's say the first day, the challenge is do away with plastic straws. So keep all the plastic straws in one side. Don't throw it away as yet, because who knows, we may need to use it for our craft activities. So keep it. We just sort out all the plastic straws, for example. Now, doesn't mean that it only happens after first day, then second day, oh, okay, I can use plastic straw again. No, you have to continuously practice it, okay, to make it a habit. Because, you know, it will take probably about 30 days to 60 days for us to get used to a new habit or a new skill, okay? So that is why if you start it, make sure you are committed to it, okay? So you can submit your progress report. Now we are going to pick probably 3, depending on how many entries that we receive, okay, or how many reports that we receive. So the more, then we are going to reward you as well. So what we do is we will pick 3 at least, the most committed ones. Yeah, so 13 challenges. If let's say you have completed 30 challenges, good for you. That means you will be, of course, one of the participants that we will pick. Yeah, so we are going to also what are the rewards that you will get? Yeah, we will send you some alternatives products to replace your plastic bottles, to replace your what you call that, plastic bags and things like that. So there will be alternatives that will be sent to you. All right, so 3 most committed family, I would say family, because it is not just one person's effort, not the mommy or not the daddy, but it's a family, okay? Kids as well, okay? This is how we actually encourage them to live a plastic-free life. Now, if let's say you do not want to take a part on that challenge and submit us the report, it's fine that you practice it on your own at home, yeah, because it is good for everyone to practice it. All right, so Alina and sorry, we didn't draw the name. It's Adeline Benico, okay, Adeline Benico, okay, Mommy Samantha go. So if we don't have it, then we will snowball that one to next week. And congratulations to the rest of the 5, yeah, winners. We will be in touch with you. I will see you next week to go through the second principle, which is reducing. So please make sure you stay tuned. And also, if let's say you think that it is the FB Live is beneficial, yeah, please share it out with all your friends and families, okay? Because we hope that more people, more kids can benefit from it. All right. So I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, and well, plastic, happy plastic free month. Okay. I'll see you next week. Bye.